Hi everybody, it's Jamie with GettingCraftyStampin.com. I just wanted to show you a really fun piece of artwork that we created this weekend at our Creative Connections class with my Getting Crafty Stampin' family. And I wanted to show you how to make a tutorial of this great sampler. This is using the fabulous, let me grab it, Perfect Mix stamp set that's retiring in our occasions catalog, and it's while supplies last right now. Make sure that you check out my blog at gettingcraftystampin.com for the full tutorial and supply list to make this. And if you shop with me, I'll send you a pretty handmade gift. I look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy this tutorial. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is using that really fun Perfect Mix limited edition stamp set. It's in our Occasions mini, but it's actually on its way on the retired list. And Stampin' Up! This year's retired list is not guaranteed. It's only while supplies lasts. So make sure that you grab yours now. You can shop on my blog at gettingcraftystampin.com. So I want to show you I did some work here. This is with the Carousel Designer Series paper. You'll see here I made some 3x3 squares of this beautiful collection of Designer Series paper. First of all, my kitchen is yellow and I love blues and reds. So this collection's vintage and beautiful, modern with pops of color. It's fabulous. It works with the Calypso Coral, the peach, the Peekaboo Peach, the Bermuda Bay, Soft Sky, and So Saffron. Tell you, I don't know where my head is today. And I layered it over for this one. I layered it on Very Vanilla with a Soft Sky 12x12 cardstock. We don't actually sell that cardstock anymore. It is something that we used to sell, and so I kept it and stockpiled it, and I decided to use it. This is actually going to be for a friend of mine, Shelby. She's getting married in June. She's a sweetie pie, and she's one of our chef friends. So here I used the archival black ink pad, and I stamped the images twice. I stamped it on this Designer Series paper here, just like this, and then I stamped it on the Very Vanilla. That's what's going to create this depth. So you can see here, I fussy cut it out with our paper snips, the little images, so that they would create this great layer. And with a Stampin' Dimensional adhesive, I can place it just like so, right on top, remove the cover, and then place this over. With the watercolor pencils, I can have fun with the look of this project very easily. And so I wanted to show you here with my blender pen, and I always, when I watercolor, throw a napkin nearby, how I'm going to paint this one blue egg. Friends of ours, we order our eggs from a organic farm nearby. They own the Oats and Ivy farm, and they had me sample out some duck eggs. And so they are actually a blue-green, the duck eggs that we receive, and it's primarily yolk, which is better for me. I'm not an egg white fan. I know some of you really are, but I don't like it. And so with the blender here, I'm just pulling the color. And so I enjoyed this stamp set and this collection. I made a card for one of the owners of Oats and Ivy Farm, and I gave it to her with this stamp set here using the eggs, because they are a really special couple that own this farm, and we actually purchased one of our goats from them recently. If you didn't know it, I actually own a goat farm. It's a small one. It's my little family. That's our four-legged kids for you. And then this here, the colors that I used on this project from our watercolor pencils, I keep them stored in a box with my blender pens and aqua painter, is the Daffodil Delight, the Bermuda Bay, the Early Espresso, the Basic Gray, and the Calypso Coral. The Daffodil Delight and the So Saffron look very similar on this project, so it makes it easy to work. And then in between each color, I'm just kind of blotting off the color. And then here, I must have had blue on it and pulled some blue onto here. I am far from perfect, but don't tell my husband and kids. I like them to think I'm perfectly awesome. Actually, if you tell my kids, my son's 13, he'll tell you how I am not perfect. We're going to create a source of light on this. So I've only colored on the exterior of this grater with the gray, and then I'm going to color it in nice and seriously here on the sides, and then I'm going to pull it in lighter to the center. That is going to create a natural source of light. It's lighter and it gives some interest to your piece. It makes it look more 3D, which is really easy to do, isn't that? One of my friends, Michelle, is really great with her source of lights. She focuses on it, and one of the tips I like to do is tell people to use a little Post-it note and put it at the top of your project so that you know where your source of light is. Then using our paper snips, we're going to fussy cut this out. So I just go like so. Our paper snips are precision scissors. They are fabulous. And I'm going to trim this. I will put this in a shadow box. So a shadow box frame I picked up at any local craft store. Our Walmart had some. Amazon had some. We do these fun projects with our Creative Connection family classes. And that's once a month. So look how cute is that? Oh my goodness. Or if you haven't heard me before, I like to say, oh my goat. It gives me an excuse to use an exclamation without cursing. I'm a mom of 6 and I homeschool my youngest 4. So my oldest is married now and my youngest is almost 6. So I have a broad span of children and I try to eat as organic as possible for them. We have some pretty extreme allergies, and so this is kind of a fun way to pay homage. I put the first sample that you saw when I did my intro in my kitchen, and you'll see pictures of that in just a bit. So I'm going to come in, and with our fussy cutting, I'm always a little nervous whenever I do these kinds of projects. I'm always thinking I'm going to screw up in the middle, chop off half my egg carton, and you're going to laugh at me, but the great thing is if that happened, I could stop it and you would never know. Actually, not true. I would probably get all like flustered, but I am the queen of fixing boo-boos. I have people call me all the time and they'll send me a picture of what they've done and how can I fix that? Because sometimes when you're in the middle of a problem, you can't see a way out. And when you see somebody who gets her way out of trouble all the time, she's probably good at fixing the mistakes and seeing her own mistakes. Okay, that would be me, just in case you were wondering. So I prepped the others because you can see how fussy cutting just takes a long time for a video, not for in person. It's actually kind of soothing. This reminds me of work that would get my brain off of the problems at hand. I'm going to trim that down a little bit. The archival black ink is ideal in order to get an ink that doesn't bleed. So you have to let it dry in order to do that. So then here on my grate, I'm going to put 1 dimensional and 2. Here I stamped on a doily with the Beautiful You stamp set, Live with Passion, Laugh Out Loud, and Laugh Deeply. With Shelby and Sean getting married here in less than, I think she said 39 days. Shelby and Sean's our youth pastor at church, so he's really great. He worked with my son for the last 2 years, and then this year he's going to have my daughter promote up where Shelby will mentor her, which is wonderful. And I've known Shelby since she was much younger. There we go. Her mom is one of my dearest friends that I trust with my life and my children. Now, I want to zhuzh this up. So you can see here how I actually use the clear Wink of Stella glitter pens, but they will watercolor and paint. So you want to color everything that is one color. So here I'm just going to go over the Very Vanilla to make those sparkle. And then I'll move on to the blues in just a second. If I were to go from the blue to the brown, that color would blend in and show, and I absolutely hate that. That drives me nuts. I'm going to be real. It drives me crazy. I like that it'll blend and paint with glitter because that in itself is so awesome. And I'm going to just do over the words, live, laugh. And you don't even have to be perfect because it is easy to paint with glitter. And then you can even just do something like this with passion, out loud, and love deeply. You don't have to be super precision. Now I'm going to go in with the yellows and just color all the yellow. Now there's a trick. Here with the mixer, I used a little hole punch and I punched a couple holes in the middle so that my paper snips could get right in and trim out the center. Did you know that those little punches have a good purpose besides punching holes for things? Here I have a little source of light, so it's a little bit lighter in the middle. You can see that there. Anything that's yellow, I'm going to color, and I want to give it that natural variance in color. And the glitter paint will help it to sparkle and stand out a little bit more. And we all should have little sparkle. Now Shelby will have her first place on her own outside of living with her family when she gets married there. She's an amazing chef and has been a great mentor to my children and working with them. Again, I'm going to go back to this, make sure I'm not transferring any color, and I'm going to go into the greens, or those blue. This Bermuda Bay is a lush bluish green. It's one of my favorite colors. It's bold and vibrant, and if you know me, I love color. So I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Ooh, this little egg over here, he needs a little TLC. Just like that, and then the handle here. And over here, just blend it off. I'm going to get this grate and kind of paint it the same way, pulling that color, but making sure I leave the source of light a little bit lighter along the edges there. And then we're going to go into the Calypso Coral, and we're going to blend it. This will smooth it on top of the blender pen, which is really fabulous. And Shelby got into baking when she found her calling that way. She works with the girls on a regular basis, but she has a gluten sensitivity, and so she learned how to do some baking. And when we found that that was a major part of our allergies, she mentored my daughter, whose passion is cooking, and so she works with my 11-year-old right now. And I'm going to come in here to the brown and just go like so. This is a simple and quick project, easy to do. Adding a little sparkle is oh so much fun. And then I'll place it. I did tuck it in a little bit because shadow frames will have you sit there, so it takes a little bit of the lip there for the 12 by 12 shadow frames. I hope that you enjoyed this project and see all the great little accents that you can see there, and that you frame it and put it in your kitchen as well. I hope you have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Check out my blog at kittencraftystampin.com. I'll see you guys later. Bye.